Now we're going to explain an exercise about the first and second proposition of Milan and Modigliani with taxes. The first proposition is about that the value of the levered firm will be higher than the unlevered firm plus the tax shield. And the second proposition is about the WACC, that have to be lower for the levered firm. So the exercise says that General Corporation presents an EBIT of $500,000. The cost of capital for the firm is 15% and a debt of $125,000. The cost of the debt is 8% and taxes is 12%. So we have in a separate chart the relevant information of the Jonas Corporation. So EBIT is 500,000. RU is 14%, V is $125,000, and RD is 8%, and TC is 12%. So the EBIT is equity before interest and taxes. RU is about cost of the company without debt. RD is cost of the debt. RE is about the cost of the equity. TC is about the taxes. And D is about the debt. So here we have so many formulas that we have to do to find what the exercise is requiring. For example, the first step we have to do is find the VU, that is about the cost of the company with no debt, that is equal EBIT multiplied by the taxes minus 1. All of this is divided by the RU. So we have this. We have to do this. EBIT, that is $5,000 minus the taxes multiplied that the EBIT divided of the RU, that is 14%. The result is about to be $3,142,857. Once that we have find the value of the cost of the company with no debt, the second step that we have to do or we have to find is the VL, that is about the company with debt. So the formula says VL is equal BU plus TC multiply debt. So we have to do this. Equal is BU, that is the quantity that we have already found. 3,142,857 plus TC, that is the taxes, is represented by 12% multiplied by the debt, and for this case we have $125,000. So we have the same value that we have already found before. Now, says from M and M proposition 1 with taxes, we know that the value of the firm with debt is $3,157,857. So the third step, or the third that we have to find is the E, that represents the equity of the company, that is equal of VL, that represents that the value of the firms with leverage minus the debt of the enterprise has already acquired before. So we have to put in this section, on this part, equal. So equity will be equal the VL, that is the value of the company with leverage, minus debt, and for this case is $125,000, that is equal of the quantity that we have now here. So it's equal 3,032,857. So Because the firm is worth 3,157,857 total and the debt is worth 125,000. The equity is worth of 3,032,857. Okay, now we have to find the RD and finally the WACC with taxes. Okay, so based on the M and M proposition 2 with taxes, the cost of equity is. What says the formula? Formula says that RE, that means the cost of equity is equal of RU that represents the cost of the company without debt plus RU minus RD that is the cost of the debt that for this case is 8% and all of this is multiplied by the debt divided by the E, in this case is this, and multiplied for the tax shield. So we have to do in this part. Equal is 14% plus 14% one more time minus RD, in this case is 8%, multiply by the D, that is the debt, okay, is the debt, divided by the equity, right, multiply for the tax shield, that is equal 1 minus TC, 12%. In this case, we have to combine in formula with two in percent. So percent to is the same. I have to say that the quantity that we have here we have already calculated before with my partners. And finally, we have to find the WACC, that for this is the most important, right? Remembering that the WACC in this case is with the tax shield for the leveraged firm. So the WACC says it's equal the equity divided for the value of the enterprise with a debt, right? With the debt multiplied by RE, that is the cost of equity, plus debt divided one more time by the value of the leveraged firm multiplied by the cost of the debt and multiplied by the tax shield. So we have to do equal is E, that is the equity, right? It says that is divided by the value of the leveraged firm multiplied for the RE, in this case is the cost of the equity is 14.22% plus the debt divided by the value of the leveraged firm one more time, right, multiplied for the RD, in this case is 8%. Remember the RD is about the cost of the debt multiplied for the tax shield is 1 minus 12%. So we have to put one parenthesis. I have already forgotten. So it has the same quantity that we have already calculated before, right? So finally, WACC for this case for Jonas Corporation is 13 93%. So, remember what the proposition of Miller and Modigliani says. It RU for the unlevered firm is 14%, and the WACC for the levered firm is 13, and that 93%. So we have to notice that the WACC is lower than the WACC with taxes is lower than the cost of capital with no debt that is 14%. 13.23%. So the debt financing is highly advantageous. Right? So notice that the WACC of the leveraged firm is 13%, and that is lower than the cost of capital with no debt. For this case, is 14%. So the debt financing is highly advantageous. So it's convenient for the firm or enterprise, including debt for the capital structure, because it reduces the cost of the financing. So this is all for today, and thank you.